And welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here, Lucas Johnson back with another episode of this MLB Show 22 Custom League. And we are doing the September call-up period. That's in 30 days, so in a full month from now. But right now, we're kind of just after the trade deadline here. And the Las Vegas Gamblers have called up one of their pitchers from the minor leagues from AAA, Jordan Wicks, 23 years old. There's a look at his attributes. 60 K per 9 and 60 walk per 9 for him are his best attributes there. But 52 hit per 9, 50 home run per 9, 51 pitching clutch, 54 control, 93 on that 4-seam fastball there, slider curveball, 2-seam fastball mix for him. But yeah, pitched really well in AAA this season. And Las Vegas here, I mean, they need some more pitching help, and so they're going to go to Jordan Wicks here, and he's going to make his MLB debut. As you look at the top 50 prospects in baseball here, another snapshot of this, because some of these guys will be getting the call-up when the September call-up period starts in a month. Wes Adams is there at the top at number 1, which is crazy because he was the number 50 draft pick in last season. And then you got Fisher York at 9, Richie Wolf at 10. Sean Robles, Shea Langoliers is back on the Major League team. Robbie Roy, Austin Martin, Francisco Alvarez there, Marco Luciano for the Rhinos, Larva Progrero, Kyle Harrison, who was called up recently for the Expos, Pedro Palmero, Benito Venezuela, another pitcher for Las Vegas, Ivan Herrera, MJ Melendez, Royce Lewis, Leo Munoz, Curtis Mead, Robert Hassel, Anthony Volpe. And then you got Dave Franco and Luis Rios, a couple of Scorpions guys there, 28-29. Daniel Espino, 30, Homer Santos, Willie Gonzalez, Tyler Soderstrom, Ken Garcia, Willie Rosado, Salvatore Nieve, Josh Solau, Kate Cavalli, Brett Beatty, who's in the major leagues right now, Andrew Cabrera, Jeter Downs, Nolan Gorman, John Mayberry, Enrique Merdinos, D.L. Hall, and Volsing, and then the rest of that top 50 there. And this is not a guy that we're focused on in this game, but Jesus Lopez, not in the top 50 prospects, and, home run for him is really down, but plus 6 hit per 9, that's just one of his better stats, and he's a guy that has high, I think, medium to high B potential, and is a guy that could maybe make an impact soon for the Gamblers, but focused in on this one here, they're playing the Salt Lake City Bees, who are 9 games below 500 right now. But Jordan Wicks making his Major League debut, talking to his pitching coach, I'm assuming, there on the bench, and just getting a little bit of advice from him as he goes out to the mound for the first time in his career. And unfortunately, it doesn't show you his pitching stats in AAA. But here is Nick Madrigal coming up to the plate, and Nick Madrigal really has struggled this season, only batting .192. He's been taken out of the starting lineup in a lot of ways for Salt Lake just because of that average being so low, but he does get a base hit here down in right field, dropping in shallow right. So he's got on base here to begin this inning. And not a lot of seats out there in the outfield being filled right now in this ballpark here. Joey Wendell takes a slider down below the knees, and Joey Wendell this season, 742 OPS for him, 8 home runs and 32 RBIs. He is on a 15-game hitting streak right there, it says, so that's good for him, as he is going to tap that one. It is going to stay fair, and they're going to throw him out of first base. Madrigal will move up over to second. But here's a look at this Salt Lake City Bees lineup, and they have a 244 average this season. That's 9th in the NL, pretty much below average there in terms of that category, that statistic. You got Ronald Acuna, CJ Cronenhort, Mateo Elias Diaz, Luis Torrens, Miguel Andujar, and DJ Stewart in this lineup. And CJ Cron, 247 average. He's got 20 home runs and 50 RBIs this year. So those are all good numbers. He's playing well, as that is a strike on the corner for Jordan Wicks, and that is his first Major League strikeout. So good strikeout there for Wicks, number 1 in his Major League career there. Congratulations to him. Rhys Hoskins blasts a home run for Las Vegas, and they have the lead here early in this one as we go to the bottom of the second. And here's Elias Diaz, 11 home runs, which is a good amount, but only 18 RBIs, and I'm not sure why he has so little RBIs. And maybe he's the 5 guy in this lineup, so it's not like nobody's getting in front, on base in front of him, and maybe that's part of the issue. I don't know, but I think he also has dealt with some injuries this season, as Luis Torrens will come up to the plate. 17 home runs for him. That's already a career high, but only batting .228 right now on the season. That's a ground ball to Cabran Hayes. Easy play and easy throw across the diamond there for the out. So Wicks here, a couple, or one hit for Salt Lake so far, but no runs as Miguel Andújar comes up into 239 average, 687 OPS. And a lot of guys on this team and on this lineup right now are, you know, about 700 OPS hitters, maybe a little bit below that. A really good stop here by Jordan Wicks on the ground ball back up the middle. And, you know, this team, just offense, you know, I think that they have some star power on this offense, but as an entire unit, I mean, G.J. Stewart has been really disappointing for me this season. They traded for him last year, and he's only batting .222 right now as a starter. I've got to kind of take him out of the starting lineup for this team, and he is getting the start today, though, as he's got 2 strikes on him, and that is a four-seam fastball at the top of the zone for strike 3. Great pitch by Wicks right there. And now there's 2 outs in this third inning. Nick Madrigal is going to drive another ball, this one into center, and that one again will fall in. So Madrigal's got his second hit of the game here in this one. As that was a four-seam fastball high and outside. Good job to reach for that one and get to it, as that's a ground ball. That one is underneath the glove of the first baseman, and Hoskins cannot corral that one, so it's going to go into the outfield. And a couple of 2-out hits here have kept this inning going. Joey Wendell extends that hitting streak to 16 games. So now it's Ronald Acuna Jr., and he takes that curveball there for a strike, but he's got a 946 OPS, 22 homers, and 57 RBIs. So not a guy to mess with here. 0-1 pitch to him. And that is a swing and a drive deep to right field. And it's to the rocks down and right. And gone. Ronald Acuna Jr. with his 23rd of the season, getting out in a hurry, and the Bees take a 3-0 lead here in the third inning. So a 3-run shot for, I mean, this is the best hitter on this team and one of the best in baseball this season, and he absolutely crushes that baseball. 391 feet there, 98 exit velo on that swing. Man, that is a big 3-run home run. And Jordan Wicks, I mean, you're going to give up long balls to good hitters like that. How do you come back from that? And CJ Cron is up here, 1 for 4 in his last game. Salt Lake has that 3-1 lead now, and he's got 2 strikes here. That's another fly ball deep into the outfield here. Reyes can't get to the wall, and that one is gone. CJ Cron with a home run. So Acuna and Cron go back-to-back, and it's 4-1 Salt Lake City. Cron with his 21st this season, and I mean, it's those 2 guys in this batting order for this team that have been the stars of their lineup all season long, and they come through right there, back-to-back home runs for those 2 hitters. And this is a rough inning for Jordan Wicks here, as there's another ball hit really hard there, back up the middle, and trying to go to second base here, and is going to get thrown out at second base. I'm not sure what Mateo was doing right there, trying to stretch that into a double. I mean, he does have 99 speed, but you still can't be safe every time you try to take an extra base like that. But now we go to the bottom of the 4th, and Elias Diaz is up here. A couple RBIs in his last few games, but Wicks with 45 pitches now on the day, and he's going to come out. Diaz here with the 1-1. It's a slider, missed in location, and Diaz doesn't miss it. Way back to left field, off of the building out there and left. That was a bomb by Elias Diaz. His 12th of the season. 3rd homer in this game for Salt Lake City, and they're up 5-1. 4:44 on the distance there for Diaz in his 12th long ball of the year. And Jordan Wicks, I mean, I think he only had like 50 home run per 9 for one of his stats, so that is one area that he's not great at, is limiting the long ball. And with these, powerful hitters here in the majors, he's kind of struggling right now. That ball was just crushed a long way. Never seen a ball go out to that building out there in the outfield in their stadium. So that's one of the longest home runs we've seen in this ballpark, is that is a strikeout. So at least he does come back with a K. And how many more innings do you see him going? Really, Jordan Wicks, it might be his last frame of the day, as that's a ground ball. Stopped by Rojas from his back. Throws it to first. What a play by Josh Rojas at shortstop. Wow. Yeah, diving stop from his back there. That is impressive. One more look at that play here, as I thought that was going to be a base hit for sure initially, stretching all the way out there and getting the stop. But it's one thing to get the stop on a play like that, but then he's got to turn around and throw it from, sitting down basically, or lying down on the dirt, and it's a perfect throw to the bag to get the out. So yeah, fantastic play right there by Rojas. So now it's DJ Stewart here, as that's a ground ball, and Rojas has that one again, as that's a good pick there at first base, as he was playing in the shift there. That is going to end the inning. Not before a home run, another one. This one by Elias Diaz, an absolute crush there. And so we're in the 5th inning, and we did decide to give Jordan Wicks one more frame, and he's got the first 2 outs here of this 5th inning. And at least, getting through this 5th inning would be definitely a big kind of confidence booster, I think, for you if you're Jordan Wicks here, and especially to get this final out against Ronald Acuna, who had that big home run in the 3rd inning. He has got a couple of home runs, 7 RBIs in this series, as he's got 2 strikes on him here. And that's a 4-seamer high in the zone. Really good high fastball there by Jordan Wicks, and so we get a strikeout. And I mean, he did get 4 or 5 of those in this game, and so I think we saw some decent things from him in this one. But overall, this performance wasn't what he was really looking for, and it wasn't exceptional, as that's a double by Elias Diaz there, adding a couple more runs. And now another double for Luis Torrens, as a pinch hitter here, and a base hit. Okay, this offense for Salt Lake is right now absolutely dominating, as that's a pickoff move, though, that is successful. But then a base hit by Magical, 3rd hit of the game, and a 4-run bottom of the 6th. And this game pretty far out of reach right now for Las Vegas, as it looks like Salt Lake will be able to improve to 51 and 59. Sam Bachman comes on out there. Kyle Cody, I mean, pretty limited sample, but he has really struggled this season. That's another home run for Elias Diaz, 2nd of the game. And yeah, this one really out of reach right now. Jojo Romero pitching for Las Vegas. He gives up a couple more runs. Joey Wendell with a double, just some more insurance at this point here, as Bachman pitching, and he's going to be able to finish this game off, it looks like. And he does have a pretty bad ERA right now, 1.72 whip this season, as that is a home run by Marte, but that is going to be the end of the game. So Wicks will be hit with a loss in this one, and just the pitching in this game for Las Vegas all throughout was just really not there, and not very good at all. They fall 12-3 in this one. So the Bees, I mean, really good offensive showing for them in this game. I mean, they're not out of the division race right now for this division. It's not a very amazing division. I think right now the Rattlers are in front of this division, but they're only, 4 or 5 games above 500 right now. So, the Bees if the Bees can go on a run here in the next half of this season, they have a shot, and they're not out of the playoffs entirely, and that is a good start. So, going to try to build that momentum here. But yeah, Jordan Wicks, I think we saw him do some decent things. I didn't think he pitched amazing. I don't think he pitched truly awful though in this one. But definitely, 3 home runs allowed by him in this game. He's got to watch the long ball going forward in his career. But you got Marte and Hoskins with a home run here for Las Vegas. And yeah, just not a good batting order here in Las Vegas. The highest average right now is James Tarantino's, who has a 267. Actually, Beer, who doesn't have even that many at-bats, has a 306 batting average for them. That's the best on the team. But in terms of starters, the guys that have started the whole season, you're really looking at Tarantino's. Marte's 256. That's pretty high for this team. And so, yeah, the offense right now is not in a good spot. This is one of the worst in baseball there. And Wicks, final line for him, 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, no walks, so that was a good thing. He was able to have decent control and that wasn't pitching wildly in this one. But the ERA is sitting at 9. And Wick, man, 4 runs, 5 hits, and 4 runs a lot. Didn't even get an out in that game. That is rough. Kyle Cody gave up a run and 2 more given up by Jojo Romero there. And Salt Lake, Nick Madrigal was 4 for 5. The average still below 200 for him. But good day for really everybody on the offense there. I mean, everybody that started on this line got at least 1 hit in this one. As Diaz was 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs and a couple of home runs. And yeah, a lot of guys with RBIs. I mean, the only guys that didn't get an RBI were Andujar, Stewart, and Mateo there in this lineup. So you look at the line and the batting there. You got a double from Diaz, Torrens, and Wendell. And Acuna with 23, Cron with 21, and Diaz up to 13. And yeah, that RBI total up to 22 now. Torrens has 47, Madrigal with 20, CJ Cron 51, and Acuna up to 60 now. Mitch Keller pitched pretty well in this start, and this is his first start of the year actually for Salt Lake City as a starting pitcher. 6.1 innings, only 1 run allowed and 8 strikeouts. And then Bachman did give up a run, but I mean that was when the game was already well in hand. So that's a good win for Salt Lake right there. And as we move on from that game, we have a couple of guys that just were traded, and they're making their debuts here with their new ball clubs. And the first one to show you here is Miles Mikolas, who has a 2.55 ERA, just traded from the Salt Lake City Bees, and he'll be facing off against the St. Louis Sluggers, who are right now 10 games above 500. And, they're in a good spot for the wildcard race right now, but they're certainly, I mean, you look at the Rhinos, 59 wins, so this is they're up by, I think, a few games in this race right now, but definitely don't want to get complacent with where they're at right now. They still need to have a good second half in order to hold on to that spot. But Lance Lynn, not focusing on him today, but he has been pitching really well this season, actually even better than he pitched last year. In terms of the ERA, the whip is higher, but only 47 runs for him in 133 innings. 22 starts for him this season. Eduardo Rodriguez on a cold streak, and this season has definitely not been what we have wanted to see from him. 4.55 ERA this year. That is definitely high and a lot higher than it was last year for him. Yu Darvish, is an older pitcher here, but still pitching really well. 2.74 ERA. He's actually been the best pitcher in this rotation this season. Jameson Taillon, 1.41 whip is pretty high. He has been not an amazing signing in this, signed in the offseason by this team. He hasn't been really producing like they want him to. Tristan McKenzie has the number 5 pitcher, has been very solid. I'll take these numbers from him. 50 earned runs in 124 innings there. Aaron Ashby has been fantastic in that long relief role, a 2.30 ERA, 72 strikeouts in 74 innings. David Price has also been very good in that role. Jose Cisnero hasn't pitched a lot. Joe Barlow has been good, 2.64 ERA for him. Luis Avalon, they just traded for him. Pedro Ortiz has been fantastic. This is one of the better young relief pitchers in baseball, and 80 hit per 9, 90 K per 9. I mean, those attributes are awesome by him, and he has given up only 11 runs in 40.1 innings this season, and the whip under 1 this year, only 9 walks in that time, so he's been fantastic. And then Kenley Jansen, traded for him a couple of episodes ago, before the trade deadline, and that ERA 2.79, and yeah, he is a great closer. So I like this team's bullpen. I think their pitching is pretty solid overall. Not a ton of holes in that pitching staff. And the lineup is pretty good. Brian Anderson, not a cold streak, but having a good season. Julio Rodriguez, +6 and +5 to some of those hitting ratings there. Contact versus lefties and power versus righties going up by a good amount. 19 home runs for him on the season. And a 762 OPS. Giancarlo Stanton is a guy, one of, in the MVP conversation, and he kind of has been all year. 298 batting average for him, 27 home runs. He's just been incredible this year. And Matt Olson has been very good as well. Michael Conforto, 260, 14 homers, 42 RBIs. That's about what they expected for him to do when they signed him in the offseason. And Justin Turner, though, he's been even better than I think this team expected him to be. His offense has been good. 17 home runs and 41 RBIs. Aside from, he was with the Pilots last year, and yeah, almost 800 OPS. Because Harrison Bader, offense isn't great. He's just there for the defense, really. And he's got some speed to him as well. But Mitch Garver has struggled a little bit this year. Brett Beatty, +4, +6 to his contact ratings. That's a great sign right there. +4 to power versus righties as well. His defense is getting better, and he's batting .260. He's hitting the ball pretty well since being called up here to being put on the starting lineup. There's a +8 for Miles Straw in power versus lefties, +5 in contact versus lefties. He's been crushing lefties this season, and his power has been really good this season. 472 slugging has already, that home run right there, 15 home runs. He only had 7 last year. So he's becoming more than a one-dimensional kind of player there with just the high average, high on base guy. Nico Horner, really special defense that he has shown in his career, but he should have more. The home run total is going to be more there. Only had 5 all last year, and he has 5 right now. He's been pretty good this season, I'd say. Jesse Winker, 260 average, only 11 home runs for him, which is a little bit down from where he was last year. I think the rate is not quite there for him, but he's been okay. Pete Alonso has been good, +8 contact versus lefties. That's a good increase there. But yeah, 22 homers. And we'll see if he gets more than he did last year, but he is getting on base more, and the slugging is higher for him, and the OPS is higher as well. Hamilton Candelario only batting .238. He is a guy that has actually, gone down in his production from a season ago. Eddie Rosario, let's say this has been a good trade for them. He's been good with this team this season, a .277 batting average for him there. Christian Vasquez, .262, 9 home runs as the catcher. And then Shohei Ohtani is, of course, starting every day here. And, he has been unbelievable batting this season, actually even better than last year. Way less at-bats, almost 100 less at-bats this season than last year. He already has more home runs than he had all last season with 28. So that is really impressive. 923 OPS. His offense this year has been unreal, and a +6 to contact versus lefties for him this season, and you can see why. He has just been fantastic. And the pitching side of things has been really good as well this season. Maybe not as good as last year, but a 3.33 ERA is perfectly fine. And, he is, just that guy, that unicorn that can do both things at the same time. So he's been awesome. Luis Castillo has been very good as well for this team. And here's a look at what Miles Mikolas looks like. We've seen his stats a little bit because when I actually traded for him, I looked at his stats. And I think he made the All-Star game also. For Salt Lake, if I'm not mistaken. Jameson Lamet there and Beatty Singer. Those two guys in the bottom part of this pitching staff aren't as good. But love the top 3 in this pitching rotation. Really good numbers for all of them. The bullpen this year, though, you can see a lot of high ERAs. All those ERAs above 4. So the bullpen has been not incredible. Lucas Sims has been really, really good this season. Only 8 walks and 13 hits allowed for him this season. The whip is at such a low spot right now. And Matt Barnes has been a legit, really good closer this year. He's blown 5 saves with 29 saves. Total 9 runs given up this season. The whip is kind of high for him. A lot of hits allowed for him right now, but he's been pretty good as this team's closer. So those two guys pitching pretty well in the bullpen, but the rest of the bullpen is maybe dragging this team down a little bit as they go into this one 58 and 54. St. Louis 60 and 50 again. We showed you that, but there's Shohei Ohtani getting ready. They're sitting on the bench, and I'm not sure why he has a glove on. He's not pitching in this game, and he's going to be the DH. Well, actually, he's going to be because the game does something weird with Shohei there, where like when I go into the actual game and I play it when he's not pitching, he's actually not in the lineup. And when I simulate, he's in the lineup every day, so it's not an issue. But when I go into the game, he's not, so I had to put him in the outfield in this one for him to be in the lineup today. Mikolas is actually in this batting order for some reason. So I hope when he re-signs another contract going into next season that issue will be fixed and I don't have to deal with that problem anymore. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen, but we'll see. That's a ground ball out. And Mikolas first out here, as you see a good shot of this Toronto stadium here. And getting his first out as a Firebird. And here's Julio. And really good average against lefties versus righties. Only been at 233, but yeah, the 17 home runs there against righties. So Toronto is right now behind in the wildcard race. They are a game back. As that's a slider. That is strike 3. Down at the bottom of the zone. Really good pitch by Mikolas there. And now it's Stan. And he's going to swing and miss. Curveball down on the corner. That was a really great pitch by Mikolas right there. I mean, perfect off speed stuff. You get the guy to think it's going to be right down the middle. And the bottom chops out of it. So we will be playing this full game. Excuse me. Sorry for the voice crack there. We will be playing this full game here in this episode as Lance Lynn comes on out there. 126 hits a lot for him this season, and he'll be facing off against Mikolas, an all-star this year. 830 OPS for him on the season, and a guy, I mean, really good leadoff hitter, as that's a sinker. He's going to take that for the first strike. But St. Louis, we already saw where they were in the standings, and they are within striking distance of the NL Central still, but, you know, the Monarchs are really good. They just improved, I think, in the trade deadline by getting Matt Chapman, so we'll see if that is going to be truly a divisional race that is going to be important down the stretch this year, as that is a walk to begin the game. So Mikolas is on first here with Nico Hoerner coming up. And the first pitcher to Hoerner, that is a cutter that is down in the zone. 719 OPS for Nico this season. And I don't know, I kind of think about moving him down in the batting order at times this year, as that's a drive, and that one he's going to land in the outfield here. And from first to third base goes Mikolas, and a walk and a hit here off of Lance Lynn already, and the Firebirds are setting themselves up an excellent scoring opportunity here immediately. And of course, you get the guy that you trust most to be able to drive a run into this spot here is Shohei Ohtani. And 79 RBIs, that is tied for 5th in the National League, and he is also top 3 in terms of home runs in the American League as well. In all baseball, 3-1. That's a swing and a sinker. I mean, a good pitch there by Lance Lynn, an 8-pitch at bat right now. And I got to try to get a strikeout on him right here. 3-2. It's a line drive, and that one is going to fall in to the outfield for a hit. Corner is going to go from first to third. Shohei Ohtani with an RBI single, and Toronto will score first here in this ball game. And Ohtani with his 80th RBI of the year. Good swing on a pretty decent fastball there with the full count. So now it's Jesse Winker. And Jesse Winker is going to line that one into right, and not tagging from third base is the runner, and I think that was probably ended up being the right decision there, as go back into the infield. But I mean, that's a big first out, and that's the kind of out that prevents a run for you as Pete Alonso comes up. And, I mean, you're going to try to do something here. It's a fly ball, and that is into right. It's pretty shallow, even more shallow than the other one was. But actually tagging is Nico Horner. He's going home, and the throw is way offline from the left fielder. I'm not sure who that is out there in left field, but that was not a very good throw by him right there. That's not a stand, is it? Giancarlo Stanton should be the DH on this team, I feel like. But anyway, as that's a 2-0 lead for Toronto in the first inning here, and this has been a brutal inning for Lance Lynn, as that's a swing and a miss. So he gets Eddie Rosario to strike out, but a 39-pitch first inning for Lance Lynn, and Toronto gets 2 runs on 2 hits in that inning. So St. Louis has a lead, or trailing already. Miles Mikolas pitching with a lead. We'll see what he can do with that as Matt Olson comes up here. And, I mean, what a fastball there, right on the corner. You know, is Miles Mikolas going to be enough to turn that's a fastball. What a pitch on the knees right there by Mikolas on the corner. Both of those fastballs in that at bat were absolutely fantastic. 3 strikeouts for Mikolas. But the question is going to really be, is he going to be enough to pull this team to be consistently above 500 and for them to catch up in the wildcard race? That's another strikeout for Miles Mikolas in his first 5 outs in this game. That was another perfect borderline pitch right there on the corner. So Miles Mikolas already loving what he has been doing in this start right now. That's a line drive caught at second base by Miles Straw. Best hit ball of these first couple of innings for the Sluggers, and Justin Turner knows he just missed that one as he's slammed his helmet down in frustration there. So now we're already in the bottom of the second inning, and that's Simon Candelario at the plate, 2 for 3 with the ribby in his last game. As again, I mentioned, only batting .238 on the season. That was a good four-seamer there at the knees. And now 1-2. It's a fly ball, and it's going to get down and land and get to the wall as Candelario will make his way up to second base with a hit and with a double. 16th of the year for him this season. And, you know, last year he was one of this team's better hitters in their lineup. And this season has just not been the same for him. I think he is a free agent, actually, as well, going into this offseason. So that'll be interesting to follow that. As Miles Straw is at the plate here. And he's going to take that pitch down below down at the knees there. 0 for 5 in his last game. He's already got on base here. Fly ball into center, though. That is caught by Bader. And that is the end of the second inning. But a lot of pitches being used in those first 2 innings by Lance Lynn, and that's going to limit how many innings he can really go in this game. As here's Mitch Garver, that OPS at 706. You know, it's gotten better for him since the beginning of the season, but still the average is not at a good spot at 233. That's a ground ball, and that's going to beat the shift here down the line. Nobody is near that baseball, and that is going to be an easy double for Mitch Garver with only 25 speed. So, yeah, only 8th double of the season for him. Really, extra base hits have not been his forte this year as Brett Beatty is at the plate. Takes a curveball. That was pretty right down the middle there. But 745 OPS for him, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs on the season so far this year. And 1-2 to him here. That's a ground ball, and it's stopped at second base. And they're going to get the out there at first, but moving up to third base is Garver here. But you're still going to need a base hit to be able to score. Also, here's Brian Anderson, and 0 for 1 on the day, and that's a fly ball. And into center field, though, and that is going to be caught by, that is Shohei Ohtani there in center field today. Even though that's not what he should be playing, but anyway, he caught that baseball, and now that is the end of the top of the third inning. So, looking around, base runner there is Mikolas. So Shohei up here for the second time. RBI base hit last time up. Fouls that four-seamer back. And now it's a 2-2 to him. And he goes around, says the home plate umpire. That is strike 3, and Shohei down on strikes.
Now batting, left
So
field.
good pitch there by Lance Lynn below the zone. Don't want to get hurt in any way by giving him something he can handle. And now it's Jesse Winker, and he's going to swing and drive that one. That one is down into the gap. It's going to roll to the wall. Winker has got himself a extra base hit right here. Double in the right center field, or into left center field, and Jesse Winker has gotten his 16th double of this season. As another look at that one, and just right in between both of those outfielders. If he was a little bit quicker, that might have been a triple. But now he's at second base here, and Pete Alonso is going to ground it into the outfield here, and going around third is Winker, and he is safe at home plate. Jesse Winker just barely getting ahead of the throw home right there. That was a close play at home plate. I didn't know if he was going to actually go initially there, but he does. 113 exit velo for Pete Alonso. Hits the RBI, and it's 3-0 Toronto. And Rosario at the plate here. He's going to swing through a changeup there. And this has not been an impressive start really by Lance Lynn. He's already up to 80 pitches here. And he really can only probably pitch maybe one more inning. As that's a swing and a miss. Forcing fastball high in the zone for the third strike of that at bat. And Rosario down on strikes twice in this one. But Pete Alonso makes it 3-0 Toronto. And the Firebirds add to their early advantage. Yeah, I mean, right now, Mikolas has been really pitching lights out, and he is settled in. So this offense has got to turn that around somehow for St. Louis, as Giancarlo takes a pretty hittable pitch right there, off speed in the middle of the plate. And he's now going to look at that sinker. That was a better pitch there on the corner for another strikeout, and that's 5 for Mikolas. That's his third, at least his third strikeout looking in this game, as Matt Olson comes up. And that's another pitch on the corner. I mean, just Mikolas' location. Yeah, I know Matt Olson does not agree with that pitch, but that was, I think, a strike. And he has been locating so well in this game that you give him the benefit of the doubt on a call that close, as that is a fly ball caught by Winker there in left. And another scoreless inning. Only one hit for St. Louis. Mikolas is dominant in this game right now. Only 3 innings tonight for Lance Lynn, as Aaron Asher will come on out here out of the bullpen. 74 innings for him, 72 strikeouts to only 30 walks. This season he has been really good as a long reliever, and he's also, I think he is technically a rookie this year for the Sluggers, as that is going to be a double play and a way to get out of the inning there. Mikolas trying to do something when he's not supposed to be hitting here, but the bunt is not laid down well, and we go to the top of the 5th. So still 3-0. Mikolas' pitch count is in a really good spot still, as that's a swing and a miss. And there's a strikeout for Michael Conforto, number 6 for Mikolas in this ball game, and way late on that pitch right there was Conforto. So here's Harrison Bader, and that's a fly ball and a full step forward, but Eddie Rosario is going to be there and makes the catch to end the inning. So halfway home in this game, and Toronto still holding a 3-0 advantage. So here's Shohei Ohtani here leading off this bottom of the 5th. 1 for 2 without RBI single. That's a slider on the corner for the third strike. I mean, kind of in the middle of the zone, but on the outside part of the plate there. And Aaron Ashby gets another clean inning there in the 5th here. So we're quickly into the 6th inning. I mean, can this team do anything against Mikolas? He's only at 52 pitches right now still. So his pitch count is excellent. And he has just been dominant in this game, as that is a ball to Garver, who has the only hit in this game against Mikolas right now. 3-2 count, as that is a check swing, and he does not go. So that is a walk, and I believe first one that Mikolas has allowed in this game so far today, as Brett Beatty will come up to the plate here. So 0 for 1 for Beatty today, as there's a ground ball, and that one is through and into the outfield here for a single. So Brett Beatty has a hit here, and a good swing right there by him. And now this is the best opportunity that this team has gotten all day, but it's a ground ball, and it is a tailor-made double play. Brian Anderson, that is a rally killer a little bit there, as a first time with multiple runners on base all day long. And now, I mean, Julio Rodriguez here, a base hit, will score that runner from third base. 1 and 2 here, though. It's a fly ball into center field, and that one is down in front of Shohei, and that is a RBI hit there for Julio Rodriguez. First run of the game for St. Louis here in the 6th inning, and it's 3-1. Good swing there by Julio on an inside slider. And now Giancarlo is the tying run at the plate here. There's a line drive speared at third base, and the inning is over. But at least the Sluggers are on the board. A couple of hits in that 6th inning and a run here in this one. They're down now 3-1 as we go middle of the 6th. So starting off the bottom of the 6th inning, here is Jesse Winker. Had that double his last at-bat in this game. Aaron Ashby's still going strong here and pitching in the 6th inning. 3-1, and that's a swing and a miss on a slider on the outside corner. Good pitch by Ashby here. And the 3-2 is a slider, swing and a miss. Inside corner, just a beautiful pitch by Aaron Ashby. And he's got a couple of strikeouts now in this start. Jesse Winker was way out in front of that one. So Pete Alonso is at the plate now, and he's going to foul that sinker off, as Pete Alonso 1 for 1 on RBI, and a couple of RBIs actually in this game. A sacrifice fly and an RBI base hit for him today. And it's at 16 RBIs. I think that's second on the team. There's another strikeout for Aaron Ashby, as, I mean, he's got the strikeout pitch working, and his K rate this season has been very good. That is one thing that he's done very well this season, and that slider was just filthy. 7-inch break there, 800 spin rate there. And, yeah, it starts in the middle of the zone and just, I mean, finishes in an unhittable spot. So there's a ground ball stopped by the third baseman playing way over, and that is going to be the out there as Brett Beatty throws him out. So that's the end of the 6th inning, and St. Louis still definitely within striking distance here as we go bottom 7. And Christian Vasquez at the plate here. So a 1-1 count to Vasquez here. That's a swing. That's a drive. That circle change is drilled into left field, and it is gone. Home run for Christian Vasquez. His 10th of the season, and the Firebirds will extend the lead here. It's a 3-run advantage again, 4-1. And Christian Vasquez, 380 feet on the distance there. And as a catcher for this team offensively, he has been, you know, not amazing, not terrible either. Victor Reyes is going to come out and pinch hit. So that means that that 7th inning was Miles Mikolas' last inning of the game. And what it started was 7 innings and only 3 hits, 1 run allowed in this one. Fantastic first start with his new team. That's a line drive back up the middle. And a man on, and they're going to go to the bullpen here and bring out Jose Cisnero. Only 6.2 innings this season, but he's been good in those 6.2 innings. 9 strikeouts, a couple of walks for him so far. But Aaron Ashby, I mean, a decent start, but is now responsible for the guy that is just moved up the second base, stolen base there for Victor Reyes, 9th of the season. And he got a pretty good jump there on the righty. And, I mean, not a bad throw, but just a good jump and able to beat it out pretty easy. So he's now in scoring position here. And Nico Horner is at the plate. That's a ground ball. That is up the middle and into center field. Bader up with it here. The throw is going to be late. And that's an RBI as Big time hit by Nico Horner. And it is a 5-1 lead for Toronto. 32 RBIs now for him on the season. And the lead keeps growing. That run will be charged to Aaron Ashby, by the way, as Shohei Ohtani is up here. And another stolen base attempt. And this time, that is not going to be successful there, as Nico Horner is thrown out at second base. But he will at least get that RBI single. And we go to the 8th inning now, and Toronto has extended their lead up to 5-1. So out comes Chris Davinsky, who has kind of struggled, especially against righties this season. But yeah, 4.95 ERA from in 50 innings. Yeah, not an amazing line there for him, but it is a 4-run game, so we'll see if he can improve on his numbers at all here. And let's see if St. Louis can do anything here. Their offense has been pretty thoroughly shut down today, as that is a swing and a miss by Harrison Bader. And that is a big-time strikeout there. A little look at the pitch sequence here in that at-bat. As, yeah, I mean, the four-seam fastball was the most hittable pitch there in that sequence, but that was a great high fastball to get the strikeout. So now Brett Baty at the plate here, and that's a ground ball. Stopped at first base by Alonso, and he touches the bag for the out. So that's a big 0 there, and we will end up going to the bottom of the 8th here. 5-1. Pete Alonso at the plate, and he is going to swing and miss at that pitch, a slider on the outside corner. And that strike 3 will bring us into the 9th inning here in this ball game. And good outing there, good inning by Jose Cisnero. So we go to the 9th. Chris Davinsky is going to try and finish this ball game off, as Brian Anderson will start the frame off here. And an 0-2 as that one runs inside, and it actually hits Brian Anderson in the arm there, or on the, on the elbow, and he's on for Julio Rodriguez, a 1-for-3 game, the only RBI of the day for St. Louis in this one. And he's going to hit a fly ball into left, and it's pretty deep, but Jesse Winker is there to make that catch and get the first out of the inning. So one down in the frame, Rodriguez will walk back, and now Giancarlo, who has not done anything here in this game so far, he's going to take a changeup, though, for a ball, and a walk will put 2 on and 1 out.
The first baseman.
And actually, they're going to go to the bullpen here, and they're going to have enough of Davinsky here. Matt Barnes is going to come on out to try and close the game out. And the average against righties, 328, is definitely a little bit higher than you would like, as Matt Olson comes on up. So a little bit of a slimmer of a chance here for St. Louis in this game, as that is a swing and a miss. Four-seam fastball. That is a big strikeout right there by Matt Barnes, and now St. Louis is down to their final out. So here's Toronto, as that is a curveball there, outside part of the plate, and Conforto 217 average with runners in scoring position this year. As that's a four-seamer, that is there for strike 2, and now St. Louis down to their last strike. Here is the 1-2. It is a swing and a miss. Four-seamer at the knees, and that is going to end the game. Toronto wins this one 5-1, and the first start for Miles Mikolas here in Toronto is a win, and the Firebirds will go to 59-53 on the season. I'm not sure where that puts them in the wild card standings, but a loss for St. Louis puts them at 60-51 now on the season. And they have been, kind of up and down since the All-Star break, not super consistent since the All-Star break. And so they're going to have to watch out. Their lead in the wild card race is diminishing with every loss that they take. They really need to string together some wins, as that is a good game there. Not a lot of offense for St. Louis in this one, but a really good start by Miles Mikolas, who gets that win, and he goes to 8-6 on the year. Lance Lynn gets handed with a loss, and Matt Barnes, 30th save of the year.
Here now is our final line score. First,
So there's a look at some of the players of this game, and there's a look at Toronto and their lineup there. Over 3 was Miles Straw, 2 for 4 was Nico Horner. That average goes up to 270. Otani had an RBI on a hit as well, his 80th of the season. Alonso had a couple of RBIs. He had a good game in this one, actually. 68 RBIs. Now Velasquez had a home run as well for Toronto, and Candelario had a hit on top of that. So, yeah, I like this lineup. I think it's a very solid lineup. I don't really think that that's going to be the issue. It's going to be the bullpen, and can the pitching continue to be good for Toronto as the season comes to a close, and can they just string some wins together and, hope that teams ahead of them are not going to have as good of a second half as they will. So, Mikolas, 7 innings, 3 hits, only 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. That ERA goes from 2.55 to 2.48. Really good stuff there. Davinsky, 1.1 innings, a walk, and a strikeout. And then Barnes with the last couple of rounds with strikeouts to get his 30th save of the year. And St. Louis, it's the same thing. I really don't think that their offense is going to be the thing that holds them back. I mean, Anderson has been great as a leadoff hitter. Only RBI of the game was for Rodriguez, and Garver and Bainey had the only other hits of the game in this one, and only 1 extra base hit of the night, in the entire game. But yeah, I don't see a lot of holes in this batting order. I think that their batting order is good enough for them to get to the playoffs and hold on to that spot. But Lance Lynn only ended up pitching 3 innings in this one. He gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, a walk, and only 3 strikeouts. So not an amazing start for him. His pitch count got ran up really quickly in this game. And Aaron Ashby, 3.1 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, and a walk with a few strikeouts. His ERA went up to 2.43, and then Cisnero 1.2 scoreless innings to give up a hit that led to a run. But there's a look at that box score, and one more guy to showcase, one more game to go into here, and Kyle Gibson making his debut here with the Vancouver Vandals, pitching against the Oklahoma City Bison. And we haven't talked about OKC really that much this season. They have been, a 500 baseball team pretty much all year. Right now they're 5 games below 500. And I think that their pitching has just not really been up to par, and has been kind of a weak point of their roster. Taijuan Walker, 2.66 ERA, really impressive there. But Kyle Gibson traded from Montreal, and this season definitely not as good as he was last year, but still below 4 ERA and 105 strikeouts there, 1.26 whip. So I still like what he's doing. I think he's still having a good season, and they didn't have to get a ton to get him, and so I think this team, they needed him for just some more support, more baseball or more pitching help on this roster, and hopefully he can deliver that for them as he walks out onto the mound in a Vandals uniform for the first time in his career. So there is a one look at his numbers here in total: 9-11. Record for him, 118 hits allowed this season and 53 walks allowed this year in 23 starts. And Nolan Marte leads us off in this one. 793 OPS for him, 14 home runs, 49 RBIs. He has been really good here leading off for this team. And I really like him. I think he's taken a lot of really good steps in the right direction. 3rd on the team in average. And his 2nd year in the majors has been really a good one. I think I've been impressed from what I've seen in his, his development and his attributes has also been very good. And so Vancouver, 8.5 back in the division. I think the division is a long shot, but only 2 games back of the wildcard race right now. As that is a line drive, and a diving attempt is not get there, and that's going to be an extra base hit for Marte. He's going to get all the way to 2nd there with a double. So Vancouver and Toronto are going to be fighting for a wildcard spot here going into the last parts of the season, as Marte has 23 doubles now on the year, and that's a fly ball into center field. and it is caught in center. Marte is tagging from second base, and he's going to get to third there easily. The throw is a little offline. And let's take a look at OKC's lineup, and I think this lineup is overall very strong. 80 stolen bases, that's second in the league. But Noel Marte, 271, Andrew Vaughn, 259, Machado, 292, Brandon Lau, 253, Peterson, Dickerson, Sean Murphy, Robert Poussin, and Whit Merrifield there as well. And Manny Machado, 24 home runs, 57 RBIs, leads the team in that average, and he has been really good this season, of course. He is their big superstar in this batting order. And so, you know, I think this batting order is filled with a lot of guys. You know, Machado is legitimately a superstar, as that is going to be a ground ball, and that will be a run. Noel Marte will come on in from first base there on a ground ball RBI. And Brandon Lau, 20 home runs, 73 RBIs, leads the team in terms of ribbies this season and has an 811 OPS. So he's been hitting the ball really well. Liked what I've seen from him this season so far. And he is a very solid number 4 guy in this lineup. But, yeah, Jock Peterson has been good. Sean Murphy has been pretty good, especially as a catcher, and he made it the All-Star game, 770 OPS. Had actually a really big hit in that All-Star game and ended up pretty much giving the American League the win in that game, as that was a strike to Sean Murphy here. And the count goes to 2-2 on him, as it's a line drive, and it is caught at third base by Arenado to end the inning. But yeah, the pitching for OKC is kind of where they struggle, and maybe you could say they don't have another really big superstar outside of Manny Machado, and I think you might be right about that. And you know, Whit Merrifield here coming up, really, the average against righties is a lot worse, but same amount of home runs, almost the same amount of RBIs. You know, he's bound down here the 9th spot, and last year he was good because he was getting on base quite a bit, and he was also stealing a bunch of bases. He stole like 70 bags. I think he stole 60 bags last year. He's not stealing nearly that many bases this season, but you know, he is maybe not the long-term solution there for this team in that position. As you know, Marte comes up 3 for 4 in this series here. But, you know, I think OKC, they just need some of that pitching to turn around. And for Vancouver, you know, it's kind of a similar thing. I think that their lineup is good and strong and has a lot of, you know, good power on it right now. And they got Brandon Belt at the deadline. I think that has helped improve their offense even a little bit more. But it's just consistent pitching as Brandon Belt, speak of him there, he gets a 2-run home run, and then Austin Meadows launching a 2-run home run. So a 5-run inning just like that. And now Gibson has a lead to work with, and that's a cutter on the corner there for the strikeout. And that is Kyle Gibson's first strikeout here in a Vancouver uniform. Is that cutter really good location there on the corner of the zone. So now it is Brandon Lau comes back up, and good start for Kyle Gibson so far. Allowed that run in the first inning, but has not allowed anything else since. And trying to get through this 4th inning here. That's a fly ball deep into center field, and back goes a center fielder, and that ball is gone. Brandon Lau with a drive to straightaway center field. His 21st homer of the year. And it's a 5-2 lead now for Oklahoma City. They get back on the board. First run since the first inning tonight. And yeah, Brandon Lau is a really good and a solid bat there in the middle of this batting order. 433 to straightaway center field. Absolutely crushed that ball. And now, how does Gibson respond to that home run? He's a veteran. He should be able to respond well, and he does with the fly ball here into center field. That ends the top of the 4th inning. So that is a run, but overall, like what I've seen from Gibson so far, only 2nd hit that he's allowed in this game so far to this point. So we go top of the 5th, and Sean Murphy comes back up, and OPS sitting at 68. That is a swing and a miss. And the count moves to 2-2. And there is another swing and a miss. That one on a slider in the zone. Good location by Gibson. And he gets his second strikeout of the game. And Sean Murphy out in front of that pitch right there. So now 2 down in the inning. Oliver Poisson at the plate. And that is a sinker. That is there for a strike. And Poisson has not been very good in his major league action this season, only batting 168. I don't even really want him here starting in this batting order, but they keep calling him back up whenever I've sent him down. And that is a strikeout there. Gibson with his third of the game there, getting him looking on the corner. And so halfway home, 5-2 game. Bison trailing as we go to the 6th. And Kyle Gibson pitch count is pretty good there. It's only 60 right now. That's a ground ball, and that one is into right field for a single here. So man on to begin the inning as Whit Merrifield is at first base. And Merrifield is going to try and steal it back here when we do a pitch out. And we get him at second base. Clutch time for the pitch out to be called there. And it works really well. We get Merrifield. And he actually almost stole this base even with the pitch out on this pitch. But good execution there on the pitch out. And he is throwing out at second. So Nover Marte is now going to swing and miss. Sinker inside. Wow, really tough pitch to swing out there. I don't know why you want to swing at that one there. And now there's 2 down in the inning. So here's Andrew Vaughn. And Andrew Vaughn has been also very good this season. I've liked what I've seen from him this year on this team. And that is a ball that is down below the knees. Count is 3-1. And here is Andrew Vaughn. Count is full to him. As that is a swing and a miss on a changeup down below the knees. And Gibson, that was another beautiful off-speed pitch. And as we go to the 7th inning, 5 strikeouts now for Gibson here, 4 in the last couple of innings. So middle of the 6th inning here. And Austin Meadows hits another home run in the quick manage. 2 in this game for him. And it's a 6-2 lead for Vancouver now as we go to the 7th. Manny Machado comes on out, and this might be the last inning for Gibson in this game, unless he goes through it 1-2-3 quickly. As Machado here, that's a line drive, and that one falls into left field for a single. So Machado, first hit of the game for him tonight. And now it's Brandon Lau. Had that, obviously, the home run last time up. Pitching carefully to him here is probably the best move, as he has a couple of home runs now in this series between these two teams. So they count 1-1 to him here. A 76 pitch for Gibson. That was a sinker at the top of the zone for strike number 2. Good location. And Gibson now coming set as the 1-2 is a swing and a miss. Man, his off-speed pitches have been very good in this game. He has made some hitters look foolish tonight, as that is another strikeout. And 1 down, and there's 1 down in the inning. Jock Peterson at the plate now. And Jock Peterson is going to line that one into the outfield here for a hit. And from first to third goes Machado, and he's there at third base. So another big one-out hit here. Have set up men on the corners with 1 out for Alex Dickerson. And an 0-2 to Alex Dickerson here. That's a drive. That one's going to land in the gap here, as that's going to score 1 run. And now around third, coming to the plate, and he's going to score, as that's another run. 2-run RBI base hit for Alex Dickerson. 18th double of the year, and Oklahoma City Columbus back in this game. They're only down by 2 runs now, 4-6. Good swing by Alex Dickerson there in the gap. And that is going to be the end of the line for Gibson here in this start. And overall, I think this was a decent start. It's not going to be a quality start for him because he gave up 4 runs. Responsible for the man on second base right now as well. But he did some good things well, and overall, it wasn't an awful start for him, as he could still get the win in this game. Luke Jackson comes out of the bullpen, 33 innings for him this season, a 3.55 ERA. As that is a swing and a fly ball into left field. Austin Meadows is there, makes that catch, and that's the second out. Can you get through this 7th inning here and not allow that run to score and not get Gibson's ERA any higher and keep it right where it is as Robert Brisson comes up. And he actually has a couple of home runs in this series, surprisingly, for Robert, and he's only got a few this season, so I mean, maybe he's turning around a little bit his offense this season. That's a ground ball, and that is thrown over to first. That's in time for the out. So Alex Dickerson does come through with a big 2-run double here, and the Bison are not out of this game yet. They're only down by 2, 6-4. So we get to the 8th inning now, and Jackson's still pitching here, and Over Marte at the plate. And a 4-6 game, as that is a curveball fouled away, and Marte's already struck out at least once in this one as a 1-2 pitch. That is a slider on the corner for strike 3. Another strikeout. Here, Luke Johnson gets a K, and you see that Fernando Tatis down in the ticker below 7 RBIs in a game for him, and yeah, he is really, I mean, he is up there with the MVP voting right now, and he might be at the top of that MVP voting at the moment. He leads the league in home runs and RBIs. I think the ticker also told you that he has 41 home runs now on the season. That was a big pitch right there by Jackson, and now Seth Lugo comes out of the bullpen, a 2.93 ERA for him, and he's been this team's setup man for most of the year, but he is being moved now to their closer role with Machado at the plate, and Machado looking at a slider, pretty hittable pitch there. I mean, on the outside corner, but Seth Lugo, maybe not the location you wanted with that pitch, but it is strike 3. And there's one down. And I think Nick Anderson was his team's closer this season, but he was not doing a great job on that role, and so wanted to get Seth Lugo in there. He's been this team's best relief pitcher all year, I think. As that one does catch the zone for the strike, and now it's the count is full to him here. And the 3-2, and Lugo with that slow delivery. It's a line drive, and it's caught by Crawford at second base. And yeah, Lau knows he just missed that one, and if there wasn't the shift there, that would have been an easy single every day. Jock Peterson now comes on out, 244 average for him, scored in the 7th inning, as that is a 2-seamer there at the top of the zone for another strike. And Seth Lugo here, last strike of the game, and that is a 4-seamer, and it's there for strike 3. This one is over. Seth Lugo holds on for a save, and the Vandals get a big win for them here at this point in the season. They go to 58-55 on the year with a 6-4 victory. And Kyle Gibson does get the win in this start for him, first here with the Vandals. And Austin Meadows had a great day, 3 for 4, player of the game for him, a couple of home runs. And yeah, Oklahoma City, you know, the averages for this team, the lowest average that you see on this team in terms of the starters is Jock Peterson, you know, only 244. That's not really that low. So, you know, this offense is strong, and I think it's, you know, not the shortcoming of this team and of their offense here this season. Brandon Lau with 21 home runs now, 74 RBIs for him on the season. Machado has 58 now, and Dickerson got a couple of 42 for him on the year. As you see the pitching, and, you know, I mean, Lopez just hasn't been that great this season, and, you know, really, their pitching staff in general hasn't been, you know, they were one of the lower teams in terms of team ERA this year, and 6 runs for Lopez in this game. Did not do a great job there on the mound. And Stratton, 1.2 innings scoreless. Loiza got 0.2 innings scoreless. And that last reliever there also did not give up a run. But Vancouver, what is it going to take for this team to get to the playoffs here? Well, you got Crawford batting 292, Marte batting 289, Arenado an RBI in this one. And Meadows has been excellent this season, 284 average with 26 home runs now, 75 RBIs, or 76 RBIs. And, Rizzo has been hitting the ball well. Montgomery has been good for a rookie. And Brandon Belt, 17 home runs now, 42 ribbies. He has been good since he's been traded here to this squad. And Gibson gets a win. That ERA goes up to 4.06, 4 runs, 6 hits, but really a lot of that damage was done in the 7th inning when he was really deep into the start. And 1.2 innings for Jackson. Seth Lugo gets his 4th save of the season for him. And that is going to be the end of the game for me, guys, and that's going to be the end of the line in this episode. But, yeah, it's going to take Vancouver, the pitching staff, to be consistent and strong the rest of the way for them to be able to get to the playoffs again. They were in a Game 163 last year, and they lost that, so they didn't get to the playoffs. But they're looking to do that this season. I think they have a team that can do it if they play their cards right and they win, and they have a good stretch of games the last month of the season. But that'll do it for me in this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching here as I settle into a groove and being able to do this and release videos every few days for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet and you want to see more videos from me. And I will see all you guys in the next one as we get closer to the last month of the season and September call-ups as we get ready for the next episode. So I'll see you then. And until then, have a great day, everybody, and a great weekend. And I'll see you in the next one. God bless.